Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to the Horoscope 101 channel. It's Saturday, so it's my day. And this week on the Horoscope 101 channel, it's camping week. So we have to pick a horror movie with a camping theme. So I decided to go with the Friday the 13th movie. And in particular, there's my little DVD set of with the fantastical mask there. Anyway, the one that I chose to review is one of my favorites in the series. Part 6, Jason Lives. Okay, and this one basically begins with Tommy Jarvis. If you remember back to part 4, when he was a little kid, he wound up actually killing Jason. Okay, and then in part 5, they show him as an adult in a mental institution. Of course, he's having trouble adjusting, to the fact that that he killed Jason, and he's having nightmares about it, of course. And then at the end of part 5, you find out. This is a spoiler for those who haven't seen it, I guess. You find out that it's not really Jason that's doing the killing, and supposedly at the end of part 5, you see Tommy with Jason's mask on, and you look like he's about to stab his counselor. Okay, so part 6 begins with him driving, with special guest Ron Paletta, who used to play Horshack on Welcome Back, Kotter. He's driving to Jason's grave with the mask, and he's basically saying that he has to make sure that Jason's dead. Okay, so you see him driving to the graveyard, to the cemetery, and of course he finds Jason's grave, and then he chooses to dig it up, and then in a fit of rage he jumps down, and he remembers back, to killing Jason, and you can see it really messes him up, and he basically, screaming, "Die, die!" He takes a metal pole and basically sticks it in his corpse, okay, his rotting corpse, and he jumps out with the intent, of pouring gasoline on it and burning what's remaining of the corpse, and of course, and a nice homage, I guess you could say that, to a Universal horror movies. Jason gets revived, of course, because that metal pole gets stuck by lightning, okay, and it basically revives. Is that revives or not revives? Because he's unconscious. It basically, bring Jason's back to life in a great opening scene. I absolutely love. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, where he gets, he gets struck by lightning. The metal pole gets struck by lightning. Well, I think like 2 times, and then it revitalized Jason, and you see a great shot of his eye opening up, and you see all the maggots and stuff, and then of course, from then on, Jason comes out of his grave, and he finds put his hockey mask back on, and then the fun begins. And basically, the rest of the movie is Tommy basically trying to convince, the local sheriffs and everybody else that, that Jason's really alive now. Of course, they don't believe it. Of course, now Camp Crystal Lake has been changed. I think they call it Camp Crystal Blood. No, not Crystal Blood. Camp Blood, I think now. The people around it try to change the whole name and stuff since Jason's been dead and stuff. And Tommy's basically, doing everything to try to prove that Jason's still alive. And of course, he runs afoul of the local sheriff, of course, and who locks him up at first, and then he basically takes him out of town and tells him to stay out of town and don't come back, trying to bring back those awful memories and stuff. And then of course, the real Jason, who really is alive now, he starts his reign of terror. And I like this movie. This movie has a nice sense of humor to it. It has a nice winking sense of humor, and you also have a lot of kills in this movie. On the box set thing they have in here, they say how many kills they have it, and they have little fun facts and stuff and information about it. And they said in this movie, Jason killed about 18 people. I think it's 18 people. 18 people. Hold on. I just want to make sure I read this thing right. I watched it the other night, and I think it is, the great thing right here, and fun facts about part 6, and it tells you body count 18. And weapons used 9. And it was just like I said, and a lot of the kills and stuff had a nice sense of humor. Jason wasn't funny. He was, Jason killing people pretty much straightforward and stuff, but it had a lot of humor mixed into it, which I think, I really kind of liked. It kind of made it kind of a fun movie, and it was one of my favorites, especially because part 5, it wasn't Jason that was really killing, even though you didn't know that at first, and I thought that was kind of lame to kind of cop out, but Part 6, I think, more than made up for it, but them actually bringing Jason back, and I love the inventive way that the writer director brought Jason back. And you watched the commentary on the DVD, excuse me, not Blu-ray yet, on the DVD. You know, the director explains that he did it as a tribute to the old Universal movies. That's why he said, especially that opening scene, if you look, that could have been filmed in black and white, because it's a dark, stormy night, you know, lightning's flashing everywhere, and then it starts to rain, so it's like the perfect setting to bring Jason back, and it definitely was. And like I said, a lot of the kills are fantastic, and like I said, the rest of the movie, Tommy's basically trying to convince, you know, the sheriff, who don't believe him, they think he's a nutball, and of course, the sheriff has an incredibly hot daughter. Her and her friends are opening up a summer camp, of course, so those are the teenagers. And of course, and you actually have kids in this movie, okay, which is, you know, pretty rare, you know, not rare, but it's kind of rare for a Friday the 13th movie. They had little kids, not teenagers, of course. They had young kids, you know, that were coming to the camp, of course, and they did play a part in the movie. And like I said, I actually really like the Part 6. Part 6 and Part 7 is just some of my favorites. You know, I love Part 4. You know, I guess if I would to name my favorite ones, I love the original, of course. Part 2 is okay. I love Part 3 when Jason gets his mask and stuff. And I love Part 4 where, you know, they had, again, a lot of stars in this. And in this movie, they did have a few stars in this movie. I saw Tony Goldwyn in one of the scenes. I guess this, you know, first starting out, he was in one of the scenes. And yeah, Jennifer Cook, which I think she was on the television series. I think I'm not quite sure. I think she was the alien daughter in the original V show. And of course, you had Thom Mathews, who played the grown-up Tommy Jarvis, and you know, who was in, I think he was in sort of the Return of the Living Dead movies. Okay, he was in a couple of those. And I think, oh yeah, Renee Jones, who was on Alexi Carver on Days of Our Lives, you know, Butt Soaps. So I had a few, you know, people that was just starting out. And but like I said, the kills in this movie is absolutely great. Like I said, and it had a nice, wicked sense of humor. A lot of the people in the movie, you know, are doing comedic things before they wind up getting killed. And there's this great sequences of people. Like I said, 18 people. I think that's a nice high body count for this movie. And I don't think the movie was more than yeah, the 90. How many minutes was this movie? I don't think it was more than 90 something minutes, I think, or 80 something minutes. No, yeah, 86 minutes, and a lot of kills for a movie, just 86 minutes. Like I said, 18 kills. Like I said, Jason, like I said, and 9 different weapons and killing people, which I thought was great. And he, like I said, he came up with some inventive ways to kill people. Okay, and this Jason, which is C.J. Graham, that was a stunt person who played Jason in this movie. I thought he was a nice Jason. He was nice and straightforward, and he moved with purpose. Okay, when he was on the move to kill people. And then, like I said, you know, him and Tommy have a great, like I said, confrontation towards the end of the movie. And like I said, which leads into Part 7, which is another one of my favorites, which I'll discuss another time, because this one's about Part 6. Okay, and like I said, I really, really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, it had a nice sense of humor to it, and the sheriff's daughter was really hot. Jennifer Cook, she was really hot, and you know, I like the guy Thom Mathews who played Tommy Jarvis. Okay, and even though it's basically his fault that Jason got revived and stuff and started killing people, but like I said, I love the way they brought him back to life. I thought that was one of the more inventive ways to do it, and it's beautifully shot. Okay, and I also read in the behind-the-scenes commentary, the director said that I think they did want the actor who played Tommy in Part 5, but for some reason, they say for religious reasons or something, he dropped out and didn't want to revive his part, so that's why they cast Thom Mathews in it. And I know a lot of people, especially because I remember seeing this part in the theater and saying, it's a totally different Tommy, but, you know, I guess that, you know, sometimes you can't get the same actors and stuff. But anyway, that's my pick for Camping Week on the Horoscope 101 channel. And sorry for the quick edit. The video kind of cut off at that last part, but I just was saying, you know, that was my pick for the Horoscope 101 channel. And tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Tomorrow's Claire's Day on the Horoscope 101 channel. Okay, let me know what you think of my pick for Camping Week. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Passer saying so long for the Horoscope 101 channel, and take care.